My people, we've got some important stuff to talk about as usual in this episode today, starting things off with a post that came out 5 hours ago. We've got yet again another continuation to this like super long Easter egg storyline for the 100th Brawler coming to the game, the newest ultra legendary, the evil villain of Star Park. We've got an advertisement for the Brock skin coming out, but as you can see, we have the Star Park tower in the background, yet again a focal point here. Now, I'm pretty sure the majority of social posts that didn't have anything to do with this previous community event had something to do with this tower in the background. Yet again, I think very, very important and very intentional. But we have a fun little crime being committed here. We got that Star Park tower in the background with all the lights on. It looks like Brock cuts out the power in Star Park, and then we are left with the lights off, but a red, ominous, glowing Star Park face there in the background. Super eerie. Hey, yo, the lights might be off, but the evilness is not gone, dude. Now, this is definitely looking a little too far into it, but I do have to say there is like a little figure in the window, something standing out from the rest, you know what I mean? Could that be the 100th Brawler, the evil CEO looking upon, wondering why the power's cut off, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wanted to update you guys on this. This has to be like one of the longest like Easter egg storylines that we've had in a long time, if not forever in the history of Brawl Stars, this 100th Brawler. Hopefully it's hype, man, once it comes around. Next up, moving along, we had in our most recent episode of Brawl News announced the balance changes that were coming out, but before I was able to get that out, or I should say after, I heard that the balance changes were going to be delayed. They were scheduled for the next day after that episode that we did, but thankfully 1 day ago, they were finally implemented. It was delayed, I think 1 day, something like that. So balance changes are implemented, and I gotta say, it's been a good time. I think every single time a balance change rolls around, I end up saying it's one of my favorite things. Just the sole fact that it feels like a completely different game, and especially taking care of those problem childs in the meta. Ems, thank gosh, man. Thank gosh. She was so hard to go up against. But hopefully you guys have been enjoying the balance changes. They've been a breath of fresh air. That's for dang sure, man. Moving along to our next bit of news, and probably the biggest of this episode of Brawl News today. We have an update from Frank about this most recent community event. Whether you enjoyed it, whether you hated it, we've got some good insight here on Frank's end. Frank says the release of Update 6.5 built a good momentum from Stranger Things collaboration, leading into the latest community event, which led to the most engagement we've seen since Katana Kingdom, which is surprising, right? Considering all the conversation inside the community, especially if you are active online in our scene, watching YouTube videos, play at a higher level, a lot of people didn't necessarily love this event, you know? But it's safe to say, based on what Frank is saying here, that this event was designed more toward the quiet majority in the game, right? The more casual players that don't really consume a lot of YouTube and stuff like that are in this community. He continues on, both the amount of people flowing in, new and returning players, more returning players than new players, and the amount of people playing every day instead of just claiming awards has been absolutely fantastic. Last but not least, Globert's release video took off and it was set at #1 trending, believe it or not. So pretty exciting. Maybe there's some new fire in the Brawl Stars scene, which is exactly what at least I want to see, man. He elaborates a little bit on us, the more dedicated audience, here in the next paragraph. I know the event wasn't perfect for our hardcore players, but we're trying to figure out how we can avoid impacting ranked and friendly rooms in the future, which was a huge point of contention in this community event, that's for sure. In an ideal world, we wouldn't have to choose which part of our community we serve for these community events. So kind of alluding to that quiet majority that this event was kind of designed around. You'll get more insight about the buffies, balance, etc. in the upcoming Time to Explain episode. We're cooking up some other pieces like the roadmap follow-up for you. So nice little call out, knowing that the Time to Explain is right around the corner. Cannot wait to see that, what they kind of talk about, as well as the roadmap coming around the corner too. Both really looking forward to those. Now, a fun little eye-opener here. Frank continues with a reply to his own comment, showcasing kind of how big the silent majority is, which is something that I talk about a lot here on the channel. It's hard to gauge how popular Brawl Stars truly is when you're just on Reddit or you're just on Twitter. I say this a lot, where it's like, whenever an update comes out, sometimes it feels like the world is ending in Brawl Stars. Brawl Stars is gonna die after this update. But then we get things like #1 trending on a YouTube video, highest play rates since the Katana Kingdom, you know? But Frank really puts it into scope for us all right now. Reddit Reddit plus X equals the community, which is kind of a sentiment that a lot of people share, especially if we're active on Reddit and on Twitter and watching YouTube videos. But he says the community is everyone who plays Brawl Stars. Everyone on Reddit plus X together engaging with Brawl Stars represents optimistically 3 to 5% of monthly active players, which is wild, dude. It's kind of tricky, you know what I mean? Especially for, I guess, my job as a YouTuber. It's important for the diehard fans to be happy, you know, in order for me to make a actual living, you know. But I definitely see and understand the actions of Brawl Stars, right? They can't just cater to one community with every single update. I guess the best ideal outcome would be to turn those 97%, whatever you'd like to call it, silent majority, the casual players, into more diehard players, you know? Once we get a larger percentage of more diehard players in this game, we might see more updates designed around or community events designed around that community of people. So here's to hoping, man. It's always interesting to see data like this, where it's like, sometimes I feel like Brawl Stars is dying and my career is in jeopardy, but then it's like vice versa, bro. It's actually super popular. More popular than it's been in a little bit. Moving along to our next bit of news that was met with some controversy inside of the community. In this most recent maintenance break, the dev team made a significant change to the early release Brawler event, specifically some changes to the boxes and what we can get from them. Chosen is outlining a conversation over here on Twitter, going over what the change specifically is. Frank talks about why they discontinued Brawler Mythic skins starting with Glowbird. So what this means is, as you guys know, in these early release offers in the boxes, we were able to get Mythic skins for the Brawler in it, but that's no longer the case. So how it's going to work is, yes, we can get the Brawler from the box now, but once the event is over, then we'll get the Mythic skin being released for that Brawler. So it's basically, we just won't be able to get that skin for free potentially from the boxes when we're going through the event, which is, I don't know, kind of sets people in the wrong way, I guess, a little bit. We have this guy asking, why was Glowbird released without Mythic skins? It just devalues both, since it was a motivation to play outside of the new Brawler, and no one buys the Mythic skins anyway. Frank then replies, we've made the decision not to release Brawlers with Mythic skins at release anymore, largely based on community feedback. It's a double-edged sword. Production constraints the quality of skins we can achieve in a given time with tighter production windows. Community feedback on said skins, example, people generally were not happy about the early Mythic skins, and then some systematic issues on top, example, skins instead of Brawlers dropping from the boxes. Essentially, we were going back to how we did it before. We released the Brawler, maybe release a lower rarity skin early on, like a 29 gem skin, and then lean heavier into higher quality skins later on, once we know the popularity of the Brawler with a certain crowd. So I guess we get an idea as to why this is happening, but people were definitely not super thrilled that the Mythic skin chance, or this higher quality skin for the new Brawlers, wouldn't be available for free out of these boxes anymore. I guess there's kind of a small saving grace in this, the fact that for newer Brawlers around the corner, they might be releasing 29 gem skins a bit more often for that event, so we can get those skins, and I'm guessing the drop rate will be a bit easier to get than the Mythic ones in and of itself. But you guys will have to let me know what you're thinking of that. It seemed like the Mythic skin drop chance also made it a little bit less likely to get the Brawler for free as well for these early release offers. But dude, there's a lot of people in this game that like cosmetics, right? Some people more excited to get like a Mythic skin for a new Brawler, knowing that they're probably going to get the Brawler later on, just on the Star Road, that they would more want the Mythic skin, you know? So kind of devalues the free boxes if you are free to play for these early release events. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. But now that we got that out of the way, moving along to our next bit of important news, especially if you are somewhat of a medium spender here inside of Brawl Stars. Right now, over on the Supercell store, as well as just in the Brawl Stars shop, there are Toy Story skin deals going on. And after these offers end, we will no longer ever be able to get these skins again. So they will, after this, be like super exclusive, super limited, kind of rare skins. We have Chosen breaking this news 9 hours ago. Last chance. This is the last chance to get the Toy Story skins. They will never return again after this offer expires, so buy them now if you really want them. Again, if you are medium spenders, but do it if you're free to play, or you know, you don't got that much money laying around, you don't want to spend too much money. Don't feel bad about not getting these skins, okay? It's all good. It's all good. Rare doesn't mean you gotta get it all the time, you know what I'm saying? But at least I just wanted to let you know, just in case it is important to you guys. But yeah, man, that's just about all I got for you guys here in this episode today. Always interesting stuff happening inside of the community. But I think I'll leave you on that note. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all so much. Love you all, and we'll see you in the next one. Adios. Take care.